people, and welcome to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. I am your host, Michelle Dawes Birt, and I am super excited to be here. I've missed you guys. I've been life's been life, and we'll talk about that. Just a lot of stuff going on. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood here in Atlanta. The streets seem to be a little bit calm. Yesterday was a lot of stuff going on. Parades, protests, because there was a Juneteenth parade. I saw Monica Pearson chairing that, and then it was protesting No King Day and all this other. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of energy going on in the city. But right now, at the current moment, things feel a little calm. The sun is shining. We don't have rain at the moment. It feels like we're in Seattle or Florida these days, because every time we turn around, we'll get this afternoon downpour of rain. And so that's what our spring has been like thus far. But yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending a little time with us. I want to welcome all the new people. Let me tell you a little bit about what Real Chicks Rock is all about. It's all about creatively collaborating to raise awareness about issues that impact us women. And we've been able to do this for a number of years, and we do it by community service, public speaking, mentoring, and we've been doing it through this particular platform, media, podcasting. We've been podcasting now for over 9 years. Yes, it's been a minute. We're still super excited about doing it because I get to speak to great people like my guest today. I haven't talked to this guy on the mic in a minute. I see him in the streets. I see him on the dance floor, but I haven't had him on the mic in a minute. It's the incomparable Kipper Jones. Hi, Kipper.
Michelle.
How are you?
So right, we do see each other
yes,
on the dance
floor.
Yes,
we do see each other down. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. Today's topic today is our healing journey.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
how we heal and things. And so how have you been?
I've been fantastic.
You look amazing. For those that can't see, you look good.
You are far too kind.
You're aging so well. I don't even want to say aging because you just look handsome.
It's the Benjamin Button concept.
Is that what that is?
I'm trying to reverse.
You are. You're happy. When I see you, you're always happy. Yeah. You always like where you are. You get good energy. People receive you. We love Kipper. We love that. We love that you love Atlanta, even though you're an LA guy.
I'm an LA guy, but I love Atlanta.
You do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I do.
You do. And some of the people that you've worked with, you see that there's a resurgence of them. They're everywhere. The Brandys, the Vanessas, everything, right? It's been a good year thus far.
It has. Vanessa, we did, her Survivor album.
Yes.
She is in London.
With the legs, she's got the great legs. Yes.
Legs Keep Dancing, which is the single from the album. And she's in London doing The Devil Wears Prada.
Nice. I love the
music
movie.
by Elton John.
Nice.
At the West End Theater in London. And then, of course, Brandy's just Brandy. Brandy's everywhere.
Yeah, she's gorgeous,
kind of
too.
Kenny Lattimore is also, everyone was just here at Mabel House with Layla Hathaway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice show, wasn't it?
Oh, I missed it, but my brother went, and the reviews are fantastic.
That's a nice combination.
Absolutely.
Because Layla's amazing and Kenny is great, so that's great.
Yeah, both of them are.
And Mabel House is a great venue. I like it.
I like it. It's just big enough for a crowd, but it's intimate enough.
And it's easy, right? Nope. Meaning that the Chastain days.
It's easy, but the parking could use some improvement.
The parking could use some parking could use some improvement, but it's easy as it relates to. It's not stressful when you get in and get out and that type of thing. Yeah. And the energy is always mature. Yes. Music lovers in the space, and so it just helps put that part of Atlanta, if you will, that what's the west side of Atlanta on the map, if you will. It's nice. I like it. It's easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds always great.
Sounds great.
And they have wonderful artists there. That's my thing about Mabel House. They've got the artist thing on lock.
Yes,
they just had Jeffrey Osborne.
They did.
Last night?
They had Robert Glasper during the Jab Memorial Day weekend with Rose, Baby, I believe.
Baby Rose.
Baby Rose.
Oh, I love Baby Rose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was just here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're funneling them through, which is a good thing. Yeah, we don't do Chastain anymore. I don't know what's happening.
I'll be at Chastain August 13th to see Teddy Swims.
Nice.
My drummer, one of my drummers that played with me when I had my R&B circus.
Yes, I remember those
DeAndre
days.
Hemby is the drummer for Teddy Swims now, and I'm so proud of him. He was 18 when he was playing for me. Now he's a grown man traveling the world with a major superstar, and and I'm so happy for him.
That's a good look.
Yeah, so I was gonna buy tickets because my sister's birthday is 11th, and she loves Teddy Swim. So I was gonna buy tickets for her, take her to the concert, and I said, well, you know, rather than buy them online, let me call DeAndre because artists usually do a ticket buy.
Yeah.
I can buy them through him and get better seats.
Nice.
He
Good
said,
to know.
Uncle Kipper, there is no way in the world that I would let you pay for that. So he got me tickets and passes. So I'll be seeing them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now,
awesome.
Chastain ain't the best sound in the world.
No.
Isn't the best venue.
No.
And you talk
Parking
about parking.
is horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah, people have missed shows because of that parking.
Because of the parking. Yeah, it's really super bad. However, since I know I'm good, I'm going to get there mad early.
Yes.
And just allow things to be what they are.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of the secret, too, to a lot of these venues, and especially in Atlanta, because, I mean, Atlanta's off the meter, man. We got it going, right?
Yeah.
Even I went to see Rufus Du Sol at Lakewood. Parking at Lakewood can be a madhouse.
Can be.
If you get there early, you can kind of avoid that stuff. So my tip is just get there early. I mean, you know, if showtime is 7, get there at 6.
Yeah, 6:30 the latest.
Yeah,
you
latest.
just want to be in
Gates are
place.
open, just be in place.
Yeah.
Have a decent parking space. Now, and then I noticed that also what they did at Lakewood this time was they offered a parking package. And they called it like a tailgate, right?
Yes.
So you paid an extra $50. You get there an hour. I think if showtime was at 8, we got there 6:30.
Okay.
But you pull up, there's tailgating going on. The people are kind of partying, chilling.
Getting it ready.
I was parked at the gate.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
And if you leave a little early, too,
You can get out.
You can get out.
Yes.
You know.
That 5 minutes makes a big difference.
Listen.
In leaving.
You know.
When they say, okay, this is our last song, or they do that encore, that's where you get your keys and you slide on out of there because realistically you can hear them in your car and they'll say good night and you're already
singing it on the way out.
You're on the way out. Yeah.
Same with the Stones. I went to Tommy Martin and I went to see the Rolling Stones last year.
I don't like you.
I had to. I got to see these artists who I know are not going to be touring much longer.
Yes.
And I'm sure that at 80 years old, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards are not going to be rocking that stage, but they killed.
They still kill it because they love what they do.
And you can see it on them. Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. You know?
Yeah. And it's amazing how these artists are still around, right? They look good and they have flexibility. Yeah. We don't hear anything about any kind of medical issues or problems. But in our community, just in our village, we're changing, right? We're hearing our bones crack a little bit. Some days we just move a little slower.
Listen, I pulled a shoulder almost out of socket, reaching for the cereal out the cabinet. It was, I wasn't playing softball. I wasn't. It's just a real thing. It's just a real thing.
And there's so much more information available to us, Uncle Kipper. Like the internet, it can be our friend. There's just so much. But the aging process is upon us, right? We're aging. We don't look like our parents. We don't move like our parents. But the aging process is here. And so there have been things or ailments within our body we've ignored, right?
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
For a long time, for moments in time. And then we just said, Uncle, you seem to be pretty open about your health.
Absolutely.
As it ranges from prostate cancer to even hip replacement. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So with the hips, Kipper, tell us what happened? Were you athletic? Was it just standing on stage singing, sitting down in a chair writing music for all these musicians? How did we get to our hips?
I wish it was just me sitting in a chair.
How was it? Why did we get to the hips? What happened?
Everybody has their journey to the hip thing.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I do have friends who, were sports stars and all that kind of thing, and then, they got to the hip piece. Mine was a bit different. One of the things that we didn't talk about was my HIV journey, which began in 1996. I mean, I ran from it, as all my friends were dying around me. And my brother pretty much kind of found me in the house in October 96, unable to do anything for myself. Really? Rushed me to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. I ask people all the time, did you see the Straight Outta Compton movie? where there's the scene where Eric is in the hospital and the doctor comes in and says, hey, what do you know about HIV and AIDS? And he says, oh, I ain't no faggot, whatever. He's like, listen, I'm not here to talk to you about that. I'm just here to tell you what's going on with you. Well, that same doctor said that same thing to me in that same hospital the very next year.
Come on, Kip.
So again, I don't really talk about it because, it ain't necessarily for dinner table conversation, but if somebody's going to be blessed by it, I'm not here for me. I'm here for them.
Okay.
So I was early in the antiretroviral therapies that now are very common, that now keep people with HIV alive every day. You take a pill a day now or, nothing. It's like diabetes. It's what you call a manageable chronic disease.
Understood.
So it's not even a big deal anymore.
Okay.
However, when I was diagnosed and we had those early therapies, we were taking 20 to 30 pills a day.
Wow. Yeah.
And some of those pills were, Crixivan was one of the drugs. It was horrible. There were these 4 big gel caps that you had to keep on ice or refrigerated, and they made your mouth taste like you had a pocket full of keys. It was horrible. My God. Just some of the stuff you had to go through. Well, I was admitted to the hospital with what they called pneumocystis pneumonia, which is the HIV-related pneumonia, double pneumocystis pneumonia, and they gave me prednisone for the pneumonia. It's a respiratory steroid that they give a lot of patients who have asthma or things like that.
Right.
Well, one of the side effects from prednisone can be, and I'm a short straw kid, if it's a side effect, I'm gonna get it. So one of the side effects can be what they call avascular necrosis. Necrosis, for you Latin people who know what that means, death. And vascular is vein, right? Your veins. So avascular necrosis is the death of the blood supply to the ball joints in your hips.
Is that right?
Yes. Side effect from the prednisone, and it got worse and worse and worse until the ball joints in my hips began to collapse. I didn't know what it was initially, but the orthopedic doctor that I went to in California before I even moved here said at some point you're going to have a hip replacement. Well, those 25 years ago, a hip replacement conversation, I wasn't trying to hear.
I know that's right.
Because you're not going to cut me up and oh my God, no. So it wasn't a conversation I was willing to have. However, by the time I got here, started performing, I'm on stage. I have my own band, Kipper Jones R&B Circus. I'm killing the people, and I'm killing myself. I go home after a show and have to take like half a bottle of ibuprofen just to go to sleep.
I know that's right.
I mean, because the pain was that bad.
It was that bad.
So I saw the orthopedic doctor, Dr. George Guild, if you're listening, love you. He said, listen, we can fix this, and you're going to be upset that you didn't do this a long time ago.
Is that right? Is that what he told you?
That's what he said. Well, because now it's laparoscopic, and it's not all of that cutting through muscle and all of that kind of stuff anymore. It's just a small incision in the front or on the side where they move the muscle over, do the procedure, and move it back, and sew you up.
And you're out in what?
45 minutes is a procedure, but you're certainly out of there the same day.
Yes, and they're making.
And I know people don't believe that and don't want to hear it. No, you have to get up, walk down that hall, climb these little 2-step thing, and turn back around, come to your room, put your clothes on, and go home.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
It is a remarkable procedure.
Yeah.
For me, Kipper, I was just in denial because of age.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
I felt like, no, I'm too young. What? Like, I'm not an older person.
When did you do yours, Michelle?
My hips are 3 years old this year.
Okay.
The time goes by fast once you're not in pain.
Listen, you get it.
Yeah, one hip will be 3 in July, and the other one will be in November.
Okay.
And I think it was, for me, Kipper, life changes in my life, right? I was married, then I was divorced, and then I was trying to find myself, like reinvent myself. And so I started running. I did a lot of 5Ks. I made a commitment like I was going to run a 5K every month, and I did that on my own. I didn't have any proper training. I probably wasn't stretching or whatever. But somewhere around 2016, I'm starting to get this pain in my left hip, and I was like, "Maybe is that arthritis? Like, what is this?" And it just wouldn't go. I would sleep, or it would go away, then it'd come back, and then I got on the ibuprofen journey. Yep. Right? I was taking ibuprofen. First it was 1, then it was 2, then it was 4 a day, which is 800 milligrams, right? And the pain wasn't going away. Then it was, Kip, I was making life choices in the sense of, I know there's a party tonight.
Right.
I know there's something tonight.
Right.
Do I really want to go? And I mapped out how far I'd have to. Well, okay, if I leave early, I could get parking close enough to the venue. Wow. So I wouldn't have to walk too far, because I'm good going in. I'm hell coming out. Yeah. Because I stood up for too long, or I try to do a 2-step. I'm trying to dance because the energy's high and it feels really great. And then I am limping or, dragging. Struggling. To get to my car to sit down, and then the next day is hell. So I lived this way for a couple of years. And I try holistic stuff, like I'm drinking no alkaline water, I'm doing turmeric, I'm doing ginger, I'm doing all these kind of things because I'm thinking it's something that could be fixed without any type of surgery or medicine. Yeah. And when I couldn't take it no more, I was online and I saw the testimonies from patients of this doctor, Dr. Stephen Kim. And he's up there in Marietta somewhere. Very nice gentleman, Asian gentleman, doctor, very kind. The testimonies were so good. I said, let me see what this guy's got to say. And before I went to him, I went to somebody like in College Park area who claims that they consult all the athletes from the Hawks to the Braves. But I felt like there was no bedside manner. I felt like the attitude was in there. Was like that, you people, Yeah. There's always something wrong with you people. You don't listen to us. You don't listen to doctors. We tell you to do these. I just felt that vibe in there. Yeah. And I didn't feel like they were trying to help people heal, but just moving them through for insurance or money or whatever the case was. Sure. So I said, no, I'm not going there. So I had to go all the way north, and I went up to Marietta, way up there, almost kissing Ackworth. And it was just very angelic. It felt different. It felt like, we're here to serve you. We're here to make sure you're okay. And he specialized in hips and knees only. And I saw young aspiring tennis girls, 17, getting new knees and new hips and this. And I said, okay, I might be in the right place. And they ran me through the MRI machine, whatever. And he just came out with the paper. He said, well, Michelle, when do you want to have the surgery? I said, Right. That's what I said, Uncle Kip. I said, Yeah. He said, because you have bone on bone. The tissue is gone. There's nothing you can do to save it. He says, and he just described my life. He was like, you can't put your shoes on, can you? Right? I couldn't bend to hello somebody, try to bend and touch your ankle and put on your shoe. We take liberty. I couldn't put on shoes. I wanted to get Velcro for all of my shoes. I couldn't tie them. Yeah. I stuck laces in. I couldn't tie them. Boots were a pain in the because I couldn't put on the riders. They were hot. I was living in pain. And he just described, and he says, you're taking ibuprofen, it's not working, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, and a tear rolled down my face. He says, we got you. And I said, well, what's the procedure? 45 minutes. I said, 45 minutes? And he said the same thing too. He says, when I get finished with you, when you get through this, you're going to be like, I should have done this a long time ago.
Absolutely.
And it had changed my life. And you're absolutely right. You spend more time doing paperwork, Uncle Kip. Right? Yeah. Showing your driver's license, insurance card, method of payment, blah, 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 blah. And you got to get there early because I had like an 11 o'clock appointment or 10 o'clock appointment for the actual surgery. I got there at 7. You're doing the anesthesia, right? You talk to the anesthesiologist. He tells you what's happening. You're doing the count. I think I never got past 7. We started at 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I went 100 backwards, so I got to 98.
I got to like 7. Yeah. I was out. Yeah. When I woke up, Miss Bird, okay, time to get up, right?
Yeah.
And you get up, and you got and you're like, oh my God. You can't even believe that you're walking and feeling nothing.
No, you didn't feel anything.
No
because,
pain.
You know, you're still under the anesthesia and the numb, the pain stuff. But listen, I can't tell you how he was absolutely correct.
Yes,
I was more than angry at myself for waiting so long.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I will say this though too. I mean, a lot of mine was insurance and that kind of thing.
Understood.
Trying to figure out how to pay for it.
Yes.
But once that was done, he was absolutely correct. I wish that I had done it years before.
Was it ego or just not knowing that kind of kept you in that frame of not doing it sooner? Fear, right?
Yeah, fear is natural.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's gonna cut on me.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna lose a piece of my body that God gave me and have it replaced with some artificial prosthesis or something.
Yeah,
and
that part.
It's fear.
It is fear.
Yeah,
it is fear.
Absolutely. But I, like you, had an orthopedic surgeon with a wonderful demeanor.
And reputation.
Great reputation.
Yes, that helps.
Who, like yours, only did hips and knees. Those his specialties.
Yes.
And I mean, he was just amazing with me. I mean, he was a dude. He's like a cowboy, but but he was super, super cool, very patient, and reassuring. And I think, because you were saying like you went to this other place at first, I think that that's ultimately important. You have to be comfortable.
Yes.
In that situation, right?
Yes.
Because you don't want to be somewhere where you don't have confidence in your team and their ability to do what it is that they're going to do, because that makes a difference too in your procedure, in your receiving it and in your healing.
Yeah, because you don't want to feel like you're just a number or just a chart.
Yep.
You want to feel, because this is this body that you've had for all these years, however long it's been. Yeah. And, just to be cut, and have something replaced. Yeah. And the reconstruction of your mind, because now pain leaves your body, right? And it's just a different experience, because, you're like, I don't have surgeries. I don't get off on that. Like, I try to take care of my body. Right. And now you're telling me in order for me to have a better way of life, I got to do this. But the pros outweighed the cons.
Sure. One of the other things, though, too, we were both on the ibuprofen train.
Yes, we were. Woo-hoo.
And that is ultimately destructive.
Yeah.
It does liver damage. Even though, it'll get rid of the inflammation for a moment, but it's doing more damage than it is helping. Yeah. And so to be able to not be doing that is a huge plus. Yeah. A huge plus,
It's a big
right?
deal.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. So did you have both hips replaced?
I had both. I had my right one done in December 2016. And the left one in April 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How was your recovery for the first one? Was it 4 weeks?
First one was...
Or a little tough, a little longer?
No. It may have been 4 to 6 weeks in there somewhere.
Okay.
I did the lady came to the house to do the early physical therapy, stuff you can do in bed. And then, I went to outpatient physical therapy for 2-3 weeks. The second one, I knew what to expect. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, the first one, when they said you go home the same day, I said, listen, I'm not going home today, because I don't know what's gonna happen to me, and I'm a little afraid. And they were like, okay. Maybe they charged me for that day.
They did.
Yeah, because you're supposed to go home. So I paid for that. So I knew the next one, I was going to go home. But I knew more of what to expect.
Right.
I went to physical therapy twice.
Okay.
And then I went back to the gym.
Yes.
On my own.
Yes.
And because I was like, y'all trying to be all soft with me. I'm not that dude.
Right.
Push me.
Yeah.
So I went back to the gym. I was back on stage after 2 weeks.
Awesome.
I was on a stool.
Yes.
And the guys wouldn't let me dance and sit down. Sit down, boy. So I was, I was on a stool, but I was back on stage in 2 weeks. And 4 weeks later, I was off the stool. So.
And you're when you say you go to the gym, wasn't that Fitz 360? Was it?
I wasn't going to Fitz then.
Okay.
I was just going to LA Fitness on my own.
Okay.
Okay. But, when I got with Fitz, I mean, that's a whole lifestyle.
That's a whole nother lifestyle change. Shouts out to him.
Shout out to Fitzroy Smith. Love you, brother. I'll see you soon.
Yes. Yes.
As you can tell.
Yeah, man. You might get 2 for 1 on this one because I'm feeling I need to go over there too.
Well, look, we may have to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just went back on my own and did what I could do. I mean, no, I wasn't in there, doing a whole lot, but I just knew that I could push myself more than what they were doing. I knew the routine too because of the first one. So.
Yeah, things got a little different for me, Kip. By the time that when I did mine, I felt like the physical therapy wasn't really a joke. I mean, wasn't really helpful for me. They just kind of just made sure I could still walk.
Yeah. So
the things were the time of the surgery, I had to make sure I had the walker in place or available, somebody to drive me from the hospital, of course. And then I had to eventually get off the walker and be on a cane, right? So that was some of the apparatuses or the tools that you need to use for your recovery. And I did that. I followed instructions of what they did, but they wasn't really doing anything with me. Yeah. So I felt like it was just a matter of me. The nurse and the doctor just keep walking, just walk. Don't put any strain, no running or anything like that, but just walk, keep moving, and you're going to be fine. And that official couple of days, don't let any water get in your stitches, that kind of thing. They'll dissolve on their own. And came back in a week, he checked me out. Oh, you're healing real nicely and that kind of thing. So I appreciated that. And I could drive because I did the left hip first.
Yeah.
So I did the left first and my right was still good. So I could still drive myself around. So it was a good thing. So that was a good experience. And because that went so well, and they helped me get through the anxiety of it all, right? Even the nurse had said to me when I was leaving the day of the surgery, she was like, Miss Birt, years ago, surgery like this used to take us 4 hours to do.
That's what I mean,
4 hours. Now it's down to 45 minutes.
Yep.
And you're in and you're out. Like it's almost...
It's a chop shop, baby. They got
moving people. Like a clinic. You're in and out of there.
You're in and out.
You know what I mean? It's no, it's no big deal, us. Don't make it a big deal for yourself.
Absolutely.
Like we know what we're doing. And it's just like, and they're doing maybe, my particular team, they do maybe 3 to 4... 5 would be pushing it a day.
3 or 4 a day.
Yeah, but they do that because people are in a lot of pain.
Yeah, man. Now, knees are more complicated than hips because there's more pieces and parts and all that kind of stuff. The rehabilitation, from what I understand, is a little more complicated.
Yes, it is.
But, again, it's the new technology allows for... or allows them to do the procedure in a lot less time and with a lot less discomfort as the way it goes. You know what I mean? So,
and it's amazing, Kipper, because I never realized your story. The HIV portion and how that medication, right, led to the deterioration of your hips. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
You know? And we all got there, like you said in your opening comments, we all got there for different reasons. Some of it could be aging or being an athlete or just, I don't know, maybe
now,
wear and tear.
Mind you, I've been an entertainer, since I was 19.
You're 19. I was going to say 18, but 19.
Yeah. So, I grew up in the punk rock era. I jumped off of speaker stacks, broke all my teeth out. I'm a punk rocker at heart.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a mosh pit guy. So a lot of it was physical.
Okay.
Which probably centered the effect of that prednisone to my hips.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it was probably looking for a place to go and do whatever it was going to do. And it was like, oh, yeah, well, his hips look like a great place. So, a lot of that was probably brought on by my stage antics.
Okay.
Now, and let me say this about that. We had an icon who was presented with the same situation with hip replacement as an alternative to the pain that he was going through. Right. And he decided not to do it because of religious concerns. One thing that that you have to sign off in case they have to give you a blood transfusion. In which case it's the very, very rare case that you may bleed so much that they have to give you a blood transfusion. It's probably less than 1% of the patients that have to do that, but you do have to sign for it before the surgery, allowing them to do this in the emergency case that happens. Right. Well, this particular icon that we all know very well had a religious situation that would not allow him to or stopped him from signing for the blood thing, so he never did the hip replacement. So then he's walking on a cane. He's not dancing anymore.
Was it a white cane?
No, it was a white cane most of the time.
Most of the time.
It matched his beautiful outfit.
Yes, it did.
Whatever color it was.
Right.
So, but
he made it look cool.
He made it look cool, but then you're dealing with the pain. And we talked about the ibuprofen. He got into the oxy, what do you call those, whatever that degree of medication is. And your doctors don't prescribe that for very long. Those are short-term medications that they will prescribe for you. And once they stop, then you're getting it from other people.
That is correct.
You're getting people to, hey, put this under your name and get it from me, kind of thing. And then when they stop, because they're going to stop, then you're getting it off the street.
Wow.
Right? And then you don't know what you're getting.
Yes.
And then we lost that icon.
I know we did.
And I just, it hurts me. It breaks my heart. I adored that man.
I know. As
and,
most of us did. We all did. But it's that pain, right?
But it's that pain, and you got to deal with it.
And it is something that we hold private.
Yeah.
It's only the immediate people that may know that we're in pain because we function and we move like we're okay, but we're not okay.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it impacts your sleep. You can't get comfortable sleeping.
Listen, and that's why I said, after my gig, I remember being at Cafe 290. We played from 9 to 1.
Yes, you did.
And we were blazing. And at 2:00, I am at home in tears.
Yes.
And I literally had to take like 4 to 6 ibuprofen to go to sleep. Just to go to sleep.
To try to get some ease.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep on my stomach for years.
Wow.
Because
you're not supposed to anyway.
But sometimes you want to lay flat or you're tired, you get that first REM sleep or whatever. I couldn't lay on my stomach, anything to deal with my hips.
Because it would push everything this way.
It just was so uncomfortable.
Yep.
And so you're sleeping in pain. You're in pain in your house. You know how sad that is?
Yeah.
That
you're holding the walls.
Oh, my God.
Just every little
thing is a thing. You're trying to shower. You can't really lift legs.
Oh, God.
You can't
wash certain places.
You can't wash certain places. You can't get in the tub.
You were talking about tying your shoes. You can't get in the tub.
You can't get in the tub because you can't lift. It's a thing.
Yep.
So everything is magnified when you're in that type and you're in that level of pain.
I hope whoever's watching this is hearing what we're saying.
I know that's
now,
right.
Because I'm sure that I think our producer is signaling an amen there. But because these are the things that you will continue to deal with until you make that decision that, okay, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm just going to do it. And leaving it, people of faith.
Yes.
Which we are.
We are.
People who are people of faith have to understand that God made doctors too.
Yeah, He did.
And it's okay.
Yeah. And there's some really good ones out there.
There's some really good ones.
I've had a good one.
You got a good one. I had a great one. It's okay. You find the right people. Where you feel comfortable. You've got to feel comfortable, like you can trust these people. So Michelle and I have people we can suggest to you.
Yes, man, we will. My doctor said he's done hip replacement on people in their 80s.
Same.
And they're walking well, and it's almost like a newness,
Same.
a
If they're in good
newness
shape.
in their life. Well, at least they're not fighting with walking.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, he can't cure high blood pressure, you know, and if you're on the threshold of diabetes, those are some other things.
Right.
But your ability to walk, he helps take that pain.
Take the pain away.
And you get these hips and they work out and they last. And I said, well, how long are these going to last? He says, until, you transition out of here.
Yeah.
They're lasting for a long time.
Listen.
I'm like, yes.
So it's been 3 years for you.
Yes.
And it's been, 2016, 2018. So
7 and 9 for you.
7 and 9 for me.
They're going strong.
And these are great.
And you look good on the dance floor.
Oh,
you are moving around. You got your Chuck Taylors on, your Converse.
Gonna have my Chuck.
You're dancing and having a good time. Like, I see you more.
Yeah.
Your lifestyle, because your health is where it is, you're able to come out and frequent and do things more. Because, again, I was like, if it's not that quick, I'm not going.
Listen, if it ain't close.
Yes, that part.
Because I don't want to have to be in pain on a long drive home.
That part too.
Going there was not really the issue.
Yeah, it was the coming home
piece.
Coming home.
I was working at Cafe 290, which was in Sandy Springs.
Yes.
And I was living in McDonough.
Yes, I remember
I was living in McDonough.
Ooh, that's a drive.
And on top of that, the people want to buy you drinks. And everybody knows I like the Jack Daniels. So they, so I'm not only am I in pain, but I'm a little high.
Yeah.
Off the,
a little Jack.
Yeah.
Go way back.
Doing it. I have a dear friend, Stephen Dean, if you're listening, who would show up and be like, Jack, right? I got you a double. I mean, it's like, no. Well, okay.
Yeah.
And then after the first double, the second one is like
right.
Kool-Aid.
Right.
So,
right.
But I got to make that 45-minute drive, and it was just excruciating.
I know. And don't let them be doing construction on the road at night.
Shut up.
You never can get.
Because I didn't really have Waze like I got now to give you an alternative.
Waze didn't exist back then.
No.
So you were stuck.
We were in the MapQuest days.
Print it out. Yeah, print out MapQuest trying to get home. I know that's right. Like, you're making life decisions.
You're making life decisions.
You're like, I'm not going.
Your pain tolerance.
Yes,
your
man.
threshold.
And then I'm in the supermarket holding on to the buggy for dear life.
I still find myself doing that out of force of habit. I will go get a basket and just be like leaning over and be like, get up. What are you doing?
And my son would be like, Mommy, I gotta know. I was like, but I need it.
I need it.
I need it because I am in such pain. I'm moving so slow now.
My crutch.
Now he's like, wow, Mommy, you're working faster than me. You fast me. Like, you're keeping up. Like airports were a thing. I was like at E-gates.
Yes.
And I had to get off the plane and walk. And I'm just like, oh my God, will I ever get to baggage claim? Because it was just such pain.
I'm glad I wasn't doing as much traveling as I've been doing recently, because now I'm like, whatever. It's like great, but then and we are at the home of the busiest airport in the world.
Airport.
And I love it. I don't care what y'all say. Hartsfield-Jackson is the best airport in the country.
Good,
but go to LAX. You ain't gonna have that same story.
I know.
That will not be your testimony. And don't fly American Airlines that is in two different terminals. You got to buy your ticket over here and then go over here for your gate, the next terminal, which means you have to walk outside and go to the next terminal. It's thoroughly inconvenient. LAX may be the worst airport in the country.
Is that right?
It's terrible. It's in a perpetual state of construction. They've been working on that airport since I was 6. I'm 63. What is that, 57 years? They've had a construction thing. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
So let me ask you, on the recovery, because you said you went to the gym, what were some of the things that you were doing? Was it just lifting weights or just walking? What was some of your physical
I mean, very
therapy?
like rehabby stuff. Like there's the adductor machines.
Yes. Where you sit in it and you expand.
You go this way, or you put your legs this way
and you close them that way.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. I don't know which one is ab and ad. But
okay, you did
both.
that.
And I would do even the leg press machine, because they have at physical therapy, they have that same sort of thing, but it has very almost no weight
No
on it.
weight on it.
So I would put no weight on the bar and you do the leg press machine, you know, to just build up from there.
Because the machine itself had weight.
The machine itself has weight.
Just pushing that thing alone is heavy.
Absolutely.
So you were doing that. Then did you find, Kipper, that you were your legs were straight? Did you struggle with form at all when you were doing your rehab things?
Not so much, because once again I did do the rehab with the facility the first time,
right?
You know, so just kind of knowing the stuff that they gave me to do, you know, I could do that on my own,
right?
And you know, as long as I remember what it was. But I will say this: I mean, my pre-surgery like position, like if I laid on my back and just let my legs like just fall, my left leg would fall like this. And my right leg wasn't straight either. Yeah. Now if I lay on my back, my feet are straight.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't do
they don't flop. They don't do that. Yeah. And the thing too, also about the surgery, it just came to my mind. We did get some kind of medication for pain.
Oh yeah,
a little lightweight stuff.
And let me say,
and this. It was like 5 in the jar and in the thing. That's it. Nothing exceeded 3 days and that stuff. And they no refills.
Mm-mm. But let me tell you, that first time they gave me oxycodone.
Yeah, oxycodone. Yes.
I took one of them.
Right.
That
took a
night.
Nap. Slept well, didn't you?
No. Well, I guess if you consider going to dinner with Whitney Houston.
Ooh. Is he dropping
sleeping
names?
Well.
He dropped names.
I dropped names because this was 2016.
Yes.
When did Whitney pass?
I don't remember. I know.
2009 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. What I'm telling you is it gave me the worst nightmares that I have ever had in my life. I was like, oh no. I would rather sit here and suffer. Yeah, I mean, and I stopped taking them. Yeah. I just didn't do that. I can't do that. I had a problem with Tramadol. I had a problem with any of those pain reliever things. Okay. Yeah, I don't do opioids.
Yeah, oof.
That was the word I was looking for
Opioids.
with our icon. Opioids.
Yes.
But yeah, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but the pain wasn't that excruciating for me.
I didn't have any pain.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not that bad.
I didn't have any pain.
And I know people look like, yeah, right.
Yeah, no, but I didn't have any pain.
It's not that bad.
You don't have any pain. Very minimal. I slept.
Very minimal.
I think it was just the anesthesia. The anesthesia might have still had me. I don't know. I came home. I had a little pain. I did what the doctor do what the doctor tell you to do.
Absolutely.
Right? So if they give you medication, they know what it is and what your body needs. It's a limited supply. It didn't exceed 3 to 5 days what I had to take. And each day I felt better. And the more you walk, the better you felt. Because the movement was important. I think the first night I just slept home in my bed.
Sure.
And
that anesthesia will make you
it make you sleepy. I think I might have had some soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. I was craving that, and I was passed out, and I was asleep from like 6 o'clock in the afternoon till the next. I was out of it, but then I felt. There was no pain, though. That was the whole thing. Yeah. And that was a good thing. And there was no bleeding from the stitches. I think the bandage had a little bit, but that's a little residue. Normal. But that was normal. Just the efficiency of the surgery was what I was impressed of. And I just wanted to shout it from the mountaintops. So when I came back for my follow-up with the doctor, I was like, when can I do the other one?
Yeah.
That was the next question, like how soon? And he was like, let's space it out, give it some time, give it about 3 months, 3 to 4 months, and I'll get you in. And he got me in November, like November 3rd. We had to beat the end of year. I want to use my insurance
that part,
before it runs out, because then you can't get on the calendar no kind of way. And that was a little different because that was the right one. So that meant I couldn't drive.
Can't drive. I couldn't drive for 2 weeks.
I didn't drive. I followed the rules. I had taught Christopher how to drive.
Did you have Christopher drive?
Yeah, he had his learner's permit. I
was gonna say, did he have a license
so he could drive, but I couldn't drive him to school. I wanted to be obedient, so I did put him in a Lift in the morning, and his teachers, God bless them, they were kind. They dropped him off for me at night, and it was really a week of that because then he had the next week was Thanksgiving break. So that was the 2-week window, like you said, and then I could drive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was amazing. It's changed my life. I sit up straight. I was hunched. My posture was changing because I was trying to deal with the pain and tuck it in and hold it and try to walk.
The difference, and I don't know if I know I've never said this to you. I see the difference in your demeanor.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm happier.
Cheery.
Yes.
You're cheery. Cheerio.
Because I was so...
But, I mean, it wasn't like she was, Michelle, you're not a miserable person. You're
but
always
I
a
was
ray
in
of
pain.
sunshine.
Thank you.
But now the difference is you're just so much more exuberant.
I'm happy.
And
Yeah. I feel good. And so now the other piece for me, Kip, and we talked about it before we went on, we started live with the conversation, is the mobility. I still feel that I'm not moving in the way that I used to. It could be aging. It's nothing to do with the hips, but I think overall we still have to keep moving and keeping our body open.
Yoga.
Right? Yeah.
I will say this. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer a year before my prostate cancer diagnosis, right?
Yes.
So we kind of going through this journey together.
Yes. How is she?
She's great.
Good.
She's
Awesome.
Absolutely great. We just left brunch.
Yes.
She's wonderful.
Good,
and I'm so happy for her. But she found this terrific yoga instructor, Tamara Pearson. Shout out Tamara, wherever you are.
Hi, Tamara.
And so we go to yoga every Saturday morning, 9:45.
Is it hot yoga or just
no,
regular? Just yoga,
I'm not doing
regular.
That.
Just
Y'all
regular.
don't get all fancy. I just please stop. So, but no, it's just regular yoga, and her method, her way works for everybody from beginners to advanced. I mean, she's amazing and patient, and it's just and for her, she starts every session with her theme and why it's important. I am complete, and it is perfect.
Yeah, wow.
And we go into the practice from there. We go into the flow, and it's just really awesome.
It's good.
It's just so awesome. But it's great for your flexibility and strength. Flexibility, regardless of whether you're having an implant or a replacement or whatever.
Right.
Flexibility for aging is crucial.
Yes.
It is crucial to be flexible. That's how we break things.
I know.
Being inflexible.
Yeah.
Bending over to pick the spoon up off the floor and you done broke your arm. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I know I'm being, kind of exaggerating. However, I'm not.
Yes.
Because we injure ourselves in ways that we don't have any idea because of our inflexibility.
Yeah.
I mean, flexibility is key. I also go to a place called Stretch Zone.
Okay, where's that, Kim?
They're all over the place, but the one I go to is over here on Collier Road in Howell Mill.
Okay.
Like, what is that? Is that West Midtown?
Yeah.
Collier Heights?
Yes,
what do they call it?
Collier Heights,
And
Stretch Zone.
Stretch Zone, where they actually, hands-on stretch you, like, in ways that you need it.
Okay, like moving that hip across the other.
Yes,
and doing all
moving
that
your
kind of
hip,
contortionist kind of.
If your audience knows what your IT band, but it is that muscle series of muscles that goes like right up your side.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Crucial to have that flexibility in your IT band on either side.
Okay.
And so, they do that. I also was having, and while I was working out with Fitz, I called myself being fancy. He wasn't there one day, and I reached up to grab the pull-up bar. I'm going to do some chin-ups, right, on my own.
Yes.
I jumped up, and I missed the bar, and when I came down, I got this thing in my shoulder here, and I was like, oh, Lord, I done tore something. So, but I didn't. And we were talking about...
sound like you were speaking in tongues.
That's what I was. But it was a tongue that you may understand. However... But
it sounded like tongues.
But it was like I found out because I had to go once again go to the orthopedic doctor. They had to do X-rays.
Yes.
Arthritis begins to set up in your body at 18, right?
So
18 years old. Yeah, we hit the wall and start coming back early.
Damn.
Yeah, 18. But of course, it affects everybody different. All that kind of stuff. Some people, because they sit around don't do nothing, get it worse. than people who keep moving and all that kind of stuff. And then that way, the onset is far later.
Okay.
Well, I was getting a fusion in my vertebrae, C4, 5, and 6.
Wow.
That was affecting this over here.
Okay.
Because the nerves are weird things, right?
Yes.
And they go different places. So that's what it was. It wasn't back here in as much as it was actually in my neck.
Wow.
So then I started going to a chiropractor, right? I swear by it. Yeah, go get cracked. Listen, get your life right. Go get you an adjustment. It is the best thing in the world. So between the chiropractor and the stretch zone, yoga, do all the things. Do what you can do. I mean, I know everybody can't, and I'm not trying to flex. This is not a flex. Everybody can't afford everything.
Right.
Some of these things, like I pay stretch zone $200 a month.
Okay.
I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing that. I'm doing it right now.
I understand.
Yoga, I'm able to access through my LA Fitness membership.
Nice.
Because Tamara teaches at LA Fitness.
Nice.
And she's at the LA Fitness on Peachtree, across the street from Phipps Plaza, right? So I don't really have to quote unquote pay for that.
It's included in
it's
your
included
LA.
in my membership.
Yeah, which is good. They need more of that.
Yeah. So and look around. There's another young lady who teaches down at South Lake LA Fitness, who's really, really good. So look around, check around. But yoga is fantastic. Also look up Marsha Shackelford for you people.
Marsha.
Hey, Marsha, because she's a wonderful yoga instructor as well. But yoga is great for flexibility and just ease of mind. And those kinds of things. And it's not some, a lot of, folks who love the Lord think that, yoga is some, hocus pocus. Calm down. It's not. But just to relax your mind is not against your religion. It doesn't compromise your faith. Let me say that.
Yes.
We're not talking about that. I'm talking about your body.
Your body.
And your mind is part of your body.
Yeah.
So, we have to be conscious of that.
It is a temple. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck,
right?
man.
Your body, the first thing God gave you was this body.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be mindful of what we put into it.
We're stewards of it.
We're stewards of it. And we should be mindful of what we put into it.
Yeah.
What we listen to, what we watch, the whole sphere. And there are professionals here designed to help us, right?
Absolutely.
Because our body does its own thing, especially as women. We start elevating in our age, and then different things happen, different things stop, being able to produce and procreate life. And then there's this whole perimenopause, menopause, post. There's all of these things going on, not to mention stress. Right? On top of that, right?
Ugh.
And then we look at what the political climate and things that are going on in our community and in the world, it's all compounded on us. We have to find different outlets to keep our temple healthy, right? Our bodies are healthy. We got to, right? So what we put into it. And so really the conversation today was just free your mind and get out of your own way about healing your body. If there is something wrong with your body, listen to it. Go to a professional. If you don't like what they're saying, go get a second, maybe even a third opinion if necessary. But there are people in place to help you correct some of these things. And really today was really our hips. We are able to sit in this chair and move and do all kinds of things. I am so happy that these things are moving and working, and I'm not in that kind of pain. And so I could be a poster child we could be poster children to say this is a life-changing
like my
experience.
cousin says, I walked in here unassisted.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's beautiful.
It's a wonderful thing.
I'm ready to go everywhere. I'm sitting on flights now like boom, boom. I'm good now. We're flying across my legs. It's comfort now.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's a sense of security in yourself.
It is.
Anybody who is dealing with that sort of situation, a lot of what you're dealing with is just insecurity. Can I even do that? Can I go? I've been invited to a wedding. Can I go?
Right.
I've been, whatever, those kinds of things, right? You make, like you said, you make decisions based upon your ability to handle
Yes.
it, you know,
Yes.
physically.
Yeah.
And, so,
And it limits your life.
ugh.
It's very limiting to your life. And so we're here to promote life. Live life and live it more abundantly, right?
Ain't that what God said?
That's
we
what he
supposed to
said.
have?
It's in the word. Like,
It's in the book.
it came here that you may have life and have life more abundantly. And so pain keeps you locked up, keeps you
That is not abundant living.
limited. It's aggravating. It's frustrating. It causes other things to go on in your body. And so we're saying, get the help that you need. Don't be a prisoner to the pains and the aches of your body. No, get the help. If you need some new hips, go and get them. Get out of your own way. Forget the ego. Forget fear. Just go on and do it. You will be so glad that you did.
Michelle, there is a saying that says, everything you want is on the other side of fear.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that is not just this physical conversation we're having.
Right.
You know, this is just a life saying, you know, and I find myself in those positions too. Well, I want to do that, but should I do it?
Right.
I don't know, because, you know, such and such might happen. And we get in our own way and create what we call inauthentic fear. That is fear of something that ain't even happened. It ain't even real. You created it in your head.
Yeah.
So get out of that. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Go get it. Go make it happen. Get better.
Yeah, get better.
Just get better, be better, do better.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you get them new hips, move them.
Hey, show up on the dance floor.
Walk.
What am I saying?
Move
Listen.
them, stretch them.
Yeah,
do
move.
just
Walking is better than anything.
Yes.
Walk. And we, you know, this Atlanta, we have this beautiful belt line.
Yeah, we do.
My sister will come and get me. Come on, I want to walk on the belt line. Wear me out.
Yeah.
But she's
good.
discovered how that works
It does.
for your
It does.
psyche, for everything. You know, and in this cancer journey, especially, we have found that, you know, it is hormonally helpful to get this exercise thing in, to walk as much as possible. I got my bike out the other day.
Nice.
Finally started riding again.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Take that out on the belt line.
And how long have you been cancer free? How many years?
I've been cancer free for a whole 2 years now. It was April. It was 2 years. Yeah. April 25th. It was 2 years.
Was it a routine check that you discovered that you had?
No. So, we dealt with my dad and his cancer journey. My father had colon cancer first. They got rid of it, and then it showed up in his bladder.
Oh, wow.
And they did chemo, radiation, the whole bit, got rid of it. Then it showed up in a kidney.
Wow.
And they took one kidney. You can live with one kidney, right? So they took one kidney. He was still fine, playing golf. He was doing his thing. Then they found something in his esophagus, and he was still living in California at the time. We were here. And so he said, Kip, I want to move to Georgia because I want to be closer to you guys, because this is starting to weird me out.
Okay.
So he came here. His oncologist here at Wellstar said, I want to do a genetic testing because I want to see something. And he did. And what he found out is that my dad had something called Lynch syndrome. Lynch syndrome is a defective gene that allows for all of these specific cancers. And when I say allows for, this is the way the doctors and oncologists explain it. Every human body has cancer. Everyone. You are born with cancer cells.
Okay.
That's not the issue. The healthy human body response is to keep it at bay. You never know about it. It never happens, and it's never a thing. This defective gene basically swings the door open and says, oh, right this way.
Come on in. Yeah.
Right? And it only happens in certain cases and to certain people. It is highly hereditary. And is primarily found in, and we had this conversation about my grandfather's picture, Native Americans and Europeans, more so than African Americans.
Okay.
Which kind of let me know I got both of those, the Native American and European bloodline, right?
Yes.
So, you know, as African Americans, we tend to. And so anyway, that was my dad's situation. So my father stayed on me, Kip, you got to take this test because you need to find out, because it's hereditary. I need for you to know.
Yes.
My dad passed in 2014. The esophageal cancer, they weren't able to do a surgery. We could only do chemo and radiation, and that got to be too much for him.
Okay.
And so he said, I'm going home.
Okay.
And so, we just kept him comfortable, right?
Okay.
So we lost him in 2014. I didn't take the test until 2020.
Okay.
And I tested positive for Lynch syndrome.
Wow.
By 21, I was having frequent urination. Now, mind you, I was 59 at the time,
okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking, well, that's what old men do. They get up in the middle of the night all night and pee, right? And so I'm not tripping. But frequent urination, erectile dysfunction, I couldn't do nothing. I was probably the most boring date ever. But just all of these indicators.
Yes.
And I finally said, I need to see a urologist. And so I found, I'm an Emory guy. I found a urologist, this wonderful doctor, oh God, I can't remember her last name right now. It's escaping me, but she's a wonderful Nigerian young lady who pulled no punches with me.
Uh-huh.
And I loved it. Took the test, and like I said, I tested positive. But when I went in to see her, she said, your PSA is 20. It was 20. And your man's PSA stands for prostate specific antigen, which is the measure by which they measure your PSA.
Right.
But it's a blood test. They also do what they call the RDA, which is the rectal digital exam, which most men shy from because they don't, ain't sticking nothing up my butt. Oh, calm down. You get pegged. Anyway, that's a whole nother movie. But the reason why they do the RDE is because if they can feel something hard, then that will alert them.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. But the blood test, which shows the PSA, your male PSA should be 4 or under. Mine was 20. And that was pretty much alarm bells.
Yeah.
Okay. However, she was so wonderful and straight up she said, listen, it could be something making it that high.
Right.
You could have taken ibuprofen, could have done something that's causing it to be that high. We'll test again in a couple of weeks. However, I'm going to schedule a biopsy and an MRI. Mm-hmm. So we'll just be on the calendar in case we need to be. Mm-hmm. We tested again in 2 weeks. It was 21.
It went up.
So it's trending in the wrong direction.
Right.
And at that point, we scheduled the MRI and the biopsy. The biopsy measures in what they call the Gleason scale. A Gleason scale is between, I think, 4 and 10, 3 and 10. And I was an 8, which is what they would call stage 3. But they don't do staging anymore. They use the Gleason scale.
Okay.
Right? And they call it highly advanced prostate cancer.
Okay.
And that's what it was. And so, I had a couple of options presented to me. The seed implant thing and all of this kind of stuff. I'm 60 years old at this point.
At this point, yeah.
I was like, I'm not having no kids, or anything like that. I mean, that I know of.
Right.
But what I did, and I will put this out there. I don't care. I put something away at a bank, cryotherapy, whatever they call it, and it's on ice in case I ever wanted to do something with it. But I had the surgery, which is called a radical prostatectomy, which is a prostate gland removal.
Okay.
And so we did that, which was what everybody advised, the radiologist, my urologist, everyone said that's what you should do.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'm with that.
Okay.
We did that. They said, now there's the outside chance that you could possibly have to do some radiation because what we want to do is get your PSA to less than 0.01 at the highest.
Okay.
So we did the surgery. At my first follow-up, my PSA was 0.14. The next one was 0.27, trending in the wrong direction again. Right? So then we got to do the radiation.
Okay.
So surgery was in July of 22. And then from February to April, I had to do 7 weeks of radiation therapy, which is to just lay on this table and let this machine just run over you. Looks like a big X-ray machine, and it does this thing. However, the part about the radiation therapy that can be frustrating as hell, and it's still frustrating to this very day, is prostate cancer feeds off of testosterone. Right? The testosterone in a man's body is what gives you your energy, your libido, all the things. So they have to eliminate the testosterone from your body while you're going through radiation treatment. And that comes in the form of either a shot, which is called Lupron, this Lupron injection, or they have a new pill therapy that most insurances ain't paying for. So I had the shot, which is a shot in your stomach that hurt like I have never had a shot that hurt me so bad in my life. And it wasn't the shot. The needle was like this long. They put the shot in, put the stuff in, and about 4 seconds later, it was like somebody stuck a burning spear in me. I was like, you didn't tell me if I was going to hurt. What is that? Right. They were like, just give it like 10 seconds. I was like, you hurt. You ran one on me, But that Lupron eliminates the testosterone from your system, and then you can go and do the radiation. You suffer the side effects of now being basically a eunuch with no testosterone in your system. So you got the male boobs, you got the low energy, you got all the hot flashes.
Wow.
I know what it's like to hot flash, ladies. I do. I had a fan. I got the little personal fan in my bag in church. My pastor would be laughing at me. I'm like, you can laugh all you want to, but I'm at his fan because I'm about to die. So, but yeah, you get, all these hormonal effects from not having the testosterone in your system. Has to come back on its own because it would trick your body into thinking the cancer can come back if they did anything else than let it come back on its own. So I'm still dealing with the testosterone coming back. So you've seen me lately. My energy's better. My all that kind of stuff. So it's coming back. So
are you better on dates too now?
I haven't been on any. I got so to the point where I wasn't doing anything. So if you know anybody, holla. But anybody, it's just like, yes, I could test it out.
Need a test run. Gotta make sure everything's working. Gotta make sure it's working and functioning.
We shall see.
The hips too. Everything.
The hips is working.
The
hips are working fine. But yeah, so that's been my journey. So I did the radiation therapy. The fatigue is a major issue with that radiation. But I tell you this though, I'm alive and well.
Yes, you are.
I am here, and there's more for me to do.
More for you to do.
And I'm excited about what that is.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know all of it. You know what I mean? But I'm excited about what it is. So I just want all other men who are listening to me, please be checked. We've lost some people that we didn't have to lose. Yeah. I mean, even here in our musical community, one of our dear friends, Trav Wright, passed from prostate cancer. Wow. I thought it was colon cancer. Prostate cancer. Younger than me, probably 10 years younger than me. Dexter King, we lost from prostate cancer. OJ, David Sanborn.
Yeah.
Our former Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, was we didn't lose him, but dealt with the whole prostate cancer issue.
Yes.
Our former President Joe Biden is now dealing with prostate cancer.
Yeah.
But we, as black men in this country, I think a lot of our issue is, and they keep saying, oh, more and more black men are getting prostate cancer. No, more and more black men are being tested and finding out that that's what they have.
Right.
Because prior to that, we used to say things like, oh, he just died of, what they used to call pleurisy, consumption. They could come up with these crazy names for things that it was, prostate cancer, because we didn't check. Yeah. We didn't do the things to correct that.
Yes.
And here's the other thing too, and you kind of talked about a lot of holistic stuff, and they say, well, if chew this tree bark and do this, and all that other kind of stuff, that's great.
Yes.
Go to the doctor, Go to the doctor
Yes.
with a MD after their name and get checked.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I will tell you this: at Impact, at my church, impactdcd.org. Please log in. We do a biometric screening every so often. I don't know what the frequency is, but every so often it's free.
Yeah.
They check everything from your your blood pressure, they check for diabetes, they check for everything, and they screen for your PSA for men. Listen, or you can even go to a local clinic, but get checked. And I mean, it is important and imperative. And for you scary men, y'all big ass cowards, excuse me, who don't want to do it for yourselves, do it for your kids. This is Father's Day, y'all. While I'm sitting here, do it for your kids because you want to be here for them. You want to be here for the graduations and the proms and all that stuff, man. Don't deny them your existence in their lives. Be here for them. Go get checked. You don't have to die. There is a 98+% survival rate with early detection and treatment for prostate cancer.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome.
So,
our healing journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I say too much?
No, you look good. No, you look good. You sound good. That's what the people needed to hear. What's on the plate for you on the horizon? What do you have going on? Anything going on? Projects and things? What's happening, Uncle Kipper? What's happening?
There's some stuff going on. I'm plotting my return to the stage.
I know that's right.
So just stay tuned. Uncle Kipper at, all your social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And, follow your boy. But also I am musically, I am doing a project right now with Nikki Harris, DJ Tracy Young, and Donna DeLore. And Nikki and Donna used to sing background with Madonna. And now they are both, doing their musical things.
Yes.
They've decided to regroup, and I did this project with Vanessa Williams last year called Survivor. I did 4 songs on this album, and it's all dance music stuff that I did. I've been living in this dance music universe. I love it.
Yes.
It's wonderful. I'm not abandoning R&B, but right now R&B is in a weird place that doesn't really call my name. And so I'm in this dance music space, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm doing this dance music project with Donna and Nikki.
Nice.
And DJ Tracy Young. So I'm super duper excited about that. I have, I think it's okay to say right now that I have 2 songs that will be in the new Grand Theft Auto 6.
Woo!
Super duper excited about that.
Yes! Woo!
And I have a new record out right now. The kids may know a rapper named Skepta, who is an English rap artist. Skepta and Sammy Verji. There's a record called Cops and Robbers. And I'm excited about that. It's got like 2 million streams in less than a month.
Nice.
And so that's hot. And so, so I'm doing all the music stuff. Of course, I am your 63-year-old college junior now at Berkeley.
All right.
So one of these days I'm going to graduate.
You're going to graduate. You're going to graduate.
And then which will lead me to my ultimate destination, which is to be in the classroom.
Teaching.
Giving back these 40+ years that I've been in the record business.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? So that's my thing.
What a nice journey.
I love it. I love this life that God has afforded me. I'm grateful. I know. I mean, I have days that I wake up, weeping. Today was not a great day for me. Yesterday was my daddy's birthday.
Yeah.
I miss my daddy with all my heart and soul. Yeah. Today's Father's Day. It's compounded.
Tough. It's tough.
But it's okay. I mean, I know he's good. He knows I'm good, and I'm good because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, hey.
It was a lot. It was a lot going on this week here in Atlanta, my birthday, but also we had to say goodbye to Dres the Beatnik.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of people. Just looking back retrospectively for the year, Roberta Flack and just different people.
I'm going to L.A. Friday to funeralize my bonus mom.
Yes, your mom. Your bonus mom.
That is That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
You know, I mean, this lady, like I told you about my HIV journey, you know, I didn't get in the weeds with that, but that was a period of time where people didn't want to be around me.
I can only imagine.
They didn't want to touch
I can only
me.
imagine.
They didn't want to have anything to do with me.
Yeah.
And that lady said, come over here.
Yes.
And let me rub on your head.
I know that's right.
And she literally did that. She cooked for me and just lay on the sofa and just loved on me.
Loved you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you need to go see her.
Yeah,
you need to go be there.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of transitions and changes. Yeah. Good. Some are good. Some are things that we got to go through and deal with. It's a lot. Yeah. Energies are high. They're moving about. That's why your health is important.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to make sure you invest in that. This was a good conversation.
I enjoyed it.
I know.
It was therapeutic.
And I know when I see people that I like and I want to have conversations with, I know sometimes it's like, they always say, what are we going to talk about? And I give you a few and you were like, yeah, I think it was good. And I was like, you got the material and the information to help enlighten and empower people. And it was time. And I think for the Real Chicks Rock brand, because things are changing and I'm an older woman now, that the conversations for me will be different. And I hope they will be helpful for people, because we are either taking care of our kids or taking care of our parents. And in between all that, we're still trying to figure out how to take care of ourselves.
We talked about being part of what they call the sandwich generation, right? Yeah. We take care of our parents. We raised our kids, and now we're stuck right in the middle of that, right?
And we're still trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure it out
for ourselves, because there's still so much life in us.
Absolutely.
And we're not like our parents. No diss to our parents, but we're different. We're vibrant. We have all this energy.
I remember my grandparents being my age. They were, God bless them, old.
They were old. I don't feel old.
I'm not old. Yeah. I'm not going to ever be that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. No. I got my Chuck Tails too. Like, I'm wearing I had sneakers on my birthday. Like, so it's a different thing. Yeah. But Kipper, we love you. I love you.
Oh, I love you more.
Thank you so much for carving out some time. I know your future is bright. I figured now's a good time, even though it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. But I appreciate your time, because I know you're going to be busy. I know.
Well, your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, you're going to be busy. It's time. It's the resurgence for everybody and everything. And, good music, it never fades. It never expires. So thank you for all your contributions. And just being a nice human being. We love you in Atlanta. I know you love LA, but we got you. We got you.
I'm not going anywhere.
I know that's right.
I couldn't live anywhere else but Atlanta.
I love it. I love it. Listen, that's my time. You know me, Real Chicks Rock. I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Go to the website, realchicksrock.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell. Notify so you don't miss another episode. Like I said, we're doing some changes here in the brand. Life be lifing. I got a son. He's turned 18. He graduated from high school. He did the botillion. There's just so much stuff going on. I got to get him in college, and I can catch my breath. But I'm so busy, but I still want to be here with you. I still want to have these conversations, so it's not going away. And listen, before I leave, I want to leave you with this. Frankie Crocker, I love him. May he rest in peace. He always used to say on WBLS 107.5 in New York City, you would end the show with this. May I live to be 100. May you live to be 100 and I live to be 100 minus a day, so I wouldn't know that beautiful people like you had passed away. Until next time, take care, be well, and continue to rock on. Thank you for checking out Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next show.